come up with some bold new ideas.
Yeah, something new and crazy.
It's like,
If you ask Mark Anthony Thomas, there's no better time to be where he is at this very moment, on this walk, getting to know Baltimore.
it's everything you want in a city and everything I wanted at this point in my life.
Okay.
Both professionally and personally.
He's here on assignment, the kind that takes some time.
I knew I wanted to take on something that'd be long term. And I knew I wanted to take on something that would put all of the things I've done in my career to test.
A career journey that's paved his way to becoming the newest president and CEO of the Greater Baltimore Committee.
When this role appeared, I thought, wow, this is it.
The first black man to step into this role, qualified by a track record he left behind in places like Pittsburgh, Los Angeles, Atlanta, driven by a unique mindset.
I had developed a reputation as like the problem solver.
Okay.
In like unimaginable situations. Problem solving is not for everybody. And you have to have hope. You have to be willing to stick through. You have to be able to handle the pressure that comes with kind of running toward a fire that others run away from. And I feel ready for that.
As a writer and poet at heart, he wants to help shift a narrative in Charm City.
Anytime you're talking about Baltimore and buildings, the elephant in the room is always the vacant home.
Yeah.
You guys are definitely like getting into that part and trying to make sure that that's something that people don't have to look at for too much longer.
Yeah, this is the importance of addressing the vacants. It becomes the image that people identify with Baltimore. And that impacts whether a small business can get a loan because people think, you're in an area that
it's got that, those eyesores.
Yeah, or people aren't moving to, right?
Through his work with the GBC, he believes they can change the lens that people look at Baltimore through.
We got an interesting backdrop right now. A lot of construction happening, a lot of developing happening.
Yeah.
When people see this, what do you want them to see?
They should see progress. Yeah, development is good. And I think growing up around places where you see cranes in the sky and people travel and they're like, I want to move there, I want to open my business there, I want to be where there's new and exciting stuff. The more that we can bring to Baltimore and the broader region, the better.
So what makes him feel so prepared for this? It could be that he's been groomed around black leaders and change makers.
I look to the people I grew up around. Maynard Jackson, Andrew Young. Like, these are all people I had a lot of access to be inspired by. Coretta Scott King, and the King family. And so my view of what's possible was set by those people.
Yeah, it's a nice list.
Yeah.
Mark also happens to be a part of the same fraternity as Coretta's husband, Alpha Phi Alpha, a network of brothers around the country that he's been able to lean on since his college days.
How did even being a part of the fraternity kind of shape some of your thoughts, your perspective on how to attack things like you do now?
Yeah, in some way, it's like an overindulgence of black male inspiration. You fundamentally are part of a community where people want you to be successful. They're willing to put all the energy behind mentoring you and getting you to the next level.
What may matter the most, he wants better for Baltimore, but he knows the change he wants to see doesn't happen overnight.
It's a 3-5 year horizon, but you got to put the foundation in place and start the drumbeat of good news and good stories.
What do you hope for the city of Baltimore, GBC? What are some of those goals that you hope to accomplish?
Yeah, so I want the GBC to be universally the best at what we do in the world. And what that means is that people land to Baltimore, if they want to understand how to make an impact, they can partner with us to make it happen. And for people here to look 50 years from now to say the GBC actually transformed some aspect of society that people are proud of. Think about how much Baltimore gets beat up and what the cost that is to communities, to businesses, to everyone who it matters how Baltimore is perceived.
With the right plan and the right partners, he believes the foundation for a transformation is already in place, that leaves only one thing to do.
Showing up, really, like showing up really matters.
Stepping up, not stepping aside.
Stepping up, not stepping aside.
That's how he plans to bridge the gap between what Baltimore is and what it can be. What's going on, everybody? Randall Newsom here, and if you like that story, you can enjoy more of these Bridging the Gap stories by clicking on this box right here.
And while you're at it, subscribe to WMAR on YouTube by tapping that circle, and be sure to watch me and Randall on Good Morning Maryland.
Weekdays from 4:30 to 7 a.m.